Mother of two, permanently disabled in a crash during a police pursuit, is now suing Holyoke and West Springfield in federal court. Welcome everyone to Western Mass News at 10 on Fox 6. I'm Amanda Martin Ryan. The crash victim and plaintiff of the lawsuit argues officers should have called off the chase. Our reporter Addie Patterson is live in studio tonight after digging deeper into the court documents. So Addie, walk us through it.
Amanda, the lawsuit was filed by Yorani Louisa, her husband, and their two children, seeking more than $7 million in damages.
Dashcam video obtained by Western Mass News from November 5th, 2025, capturing the moment 37-year-old Carlos Maldonado crashed into a car driven by Yorani Louisa in West Springfield. Maldonado, in the black Jeep SUV, was driving the wrong way before slamming head-on into Louisa's oncoming blue Nissan. According to court paperwork, Holyoke Police began chasing Maldonado along Riverdale Street in West Springfield around 9 that morning. The documents say Maldonado was known to be armed with a stolen gun, wanted on 2 outstanding warrants, and the subject of a be on the lookout alert. According to a lawsuit filed by Louisa in April, 2 Holyoke and West Springfield officers chased Maldonado for miles, even through an active construction zone, before he drove into oncoming traffic and crashed into Louisa's vehicle. Investigators say Louisa was knocked unconscious and trapped until firefighters used the jaws of life to free her. The lawsuit says she was hospitalized and in a coma for about 3 weeks. She is still recovering from what the suit describes as severe, permanent injuries, including a traumatic brain injury, spinal injuries, broken bones, and internal injuries. In their court responses, both Holyoke and West Springfield deny liability. Holyoke officials acknowledge Maldonado's involvement in the crash, but dispute allegations that officers acted unreasonably. They also are raising multiple defenses, including claims of governmental immunity. West Springfield also denies wrongdoing. Both are requesting jury trials.
Western Mass News has reached out to the family's attorney for comment, but we're still waiting to hear back. Reporting live in studio, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.